Hello, hello, and welcome. It's your girl, LaShanda Henry here, a.k.a. SistaSense, for a pop-up webinar workshop on things that you can do to get ready for revenue and position yourself to profit. Position to profit. That is our conversation for today. So just a little backstory, okay? I've been online for well over, I was about to say almost, but well over 2 decades now. Good morning. I see you guys coming on in. Awesome. And one of the first information-based pieces of content that I created was my Position to Profit Playbook many moons ago. And I have been kind of zhuzhing it and updating it. And this is, to me, like the new 2.0 iteration of the things that I shared in that blueprint to really getting clear about what you can do and what you should be doing as far as your money, your marketing, and your online sales goals. So I'm super excited to share the updated Position to Profit Playbook plan with you. And of course, as we go through this experience, number one, go to docs.google.com, create a Google Dump document so you can brain dump your ideas for today. A notebook is quite okay, but of course, I love to recommend creating a brain dump doc via the Google Docs platform. Of course, as we're live, feel free to check in with me with your ideas that you come up with or your questions as we go through today's conversation. And for those of you who are catching me on the replays side, feel free to check in via email. You can always email SistaSense@gmail.com, number one. Join us in the Facebook group over at firestarters.sistasense.com, or send me a voice message when you're on the SistaSense.com website. You can always click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. Bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So, all right, let's do this. I am going to minimize this screen right here so I can take you over here where we are going to dig into amazing. Let me enlarge this to 200%, and then full screen as well, minimize here. I've got this whole process together. And, working on creating better structure in your business, streamlining your processes, things that you need to do when it comes to systems, right? SYSTEM, save yourself time, energy, money. These are things we're going to dig into today, which brings me to our agenda. So when it comes to working on positioning yourself to profit, we are going to focus on things you can do to get strategic, intentional, and back on track. I just kind of alluded to the STR method, which for me is 3 STRs. Number one, stripping down everything to the essentials, because a lot of people I've noticed struggle when it comes to working on their business on a consistent basis because they got too much going on. Overthinking, overspending, underperforming. We need to keep it simple. Let's talk about how you can strip down to the essentials, number one. STR number two is your structure, right? You want to make sure that you've got a structured business, that it's working better for you. And STR3 for me is to streamline your business activities when it comes to pretty much everything: delivering content, creating content, communicating with customers, and everything in between. I don't know if you know, but I am a solopreneur, a team of one. And between me, I'm able to consistently offer services, sell products, manage what I need to do as far as being a mommy and a wifey too. And so I know it's possible for you, and working again on your systems is what I want you to be able to do. Now, you're going to see me actually map out the Position to Profit Playbook inside of this document today, okay? And once it's done, you're going to get access to the replay of the webinar training and this completed document too, okay? So don't worry, I'm going to have it available to you, the PDF for you to print out once we are done with our Position to Profit Playbook conversation, okay? Good. So moving forward, the first thing that I want to do is to ask you, where do you find that you are either challenged, number one, or number two, you've got some resistance that needs to be tackled? tackle the resistance. Before I even move forward, it's interesting, having conversations where I share new ideas because people get excited, they get fired up. But I know that for some, the fire, it's very quick to fizzle when you fall back into bad habits and old routines. Before I share the things I want to share with you, what I want you to do is to check in with you. Right? And feel free, for those of you listening live, to check in with me via the chat. Do you find that you're challenged in some way when it comes to intentionally positioning yourself, your business for profit? Or do you feel that there's some resistance? Now, when I talk about this conversation of tackle the resistance, it's kind of twofold. Sometimes you're trying to figure out why people or potential customers are resistant to buying your stuff. But to be honest with you, in today's conversation, I'm more so concerned about you tackling your own resistance when it comes to knowing that you need to do different, move different, think different, try different, but you fall back into the same cycles, right? So where are you resistant? Where are you in a space where, again, even though there's some real goods, sometimes you fall back into those bad habits or even those feel goods that even if they feel good, they aren't necessarily really working well for you, right? What are those things that you need to, again, either tackle the resistance or you need to acknowledge that you're challenged in some way so that we can break through, right? Break through to your best you, your next best step. So I'm going to, again, give you guys an opportunity to reflect on that, pause, and check in with me into the chat. And check in with self for those of you listening via the replay. And then we're going to dig into the meat and potatoes of today, okay? Lots of good stuff here for you. I see you guys are popping into the chat. Good morning. Good morning. I would like to be better about sharing my offers and leading clients to the next step. Okay, so being in a place where you proactively share your offers. Let's dig deeper, right? Let's dig deeper. What does that mean when you say share your offers? Does it mean email marketing? Does it mean social media content? Does it mean selling? What does sharing your offer mean to you, right? So I want you to be able to dig deeper into that, and then also feel free to check in with me if you would like to. And, okay, you said number 2, leading clients to the next step, right? I'm always talking about what's now, what's new, what's next, right? So being in a space of leading them into the next conversation. And by the way, I did see that you reached out to me, and I'll make sure that you have the links to the calendar, right, and sharing that with your audience, because to me, that's a part of it, making sure that as you are engaging, I always say, while you have people's attention, make sure that you intentionally mention what's coming up next, right? So are you proactively clear about what's next, so when you are in the presence of your clients, you can communicate that to them, number 1. Or number 2, are you proactively creating calendars for yourself to keep yourself on track, but also to share and communicate with your audience what's happening now, what's new, and what's next too, okay? But yeah, I definitely want you to, telling and selling, right? As I love to say, you got to sell and you got to tell. Be in a space where all of you right now can take this opportunity to pause, reflect on where you're feeling resistant. And sometimes resistant looks different for some people. Some people say, oh, I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't want to do any audio. Or I don't like the way I look. I don't want to do any video. Or I don't want people to unsubscribe, so I'm not going to send out stuff. Or I've tried ... before and it didn't work, so I'm not going to try it again. Or why bother? I put it out and nothing happened, so I'm just going to drop it now. Like, you start hot and heavy, and if 1 or 2 things don't work for you, you get discouraged, and you stop doing what you need to do. Resistance looks different for different people, right? But being able to become more self-aware about where you find yourself challenged or self-guessing or doubting yourself, second-guessing yourself, doubting yourself, not trying or giving up too fast, or feeling defeated and depleted the minute you hear someone say something that slightly triggers you or has you go from super, super excited to super, super depressed, locking doors, closing programs, not wanting to move forward because somebody said something that didn't sit right with you and discouraged you from doing what you need to do. You got to be able to tackle your resistance if you really want to position yourself for profit. Because as we all know, I'm going to say that thing that we all know, insanity is doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results. You have to reach beyond where you are to get to where you want to be, right? Remember, your next level begins where your comfort level ends. And some people are too comfortable with their discomfort. They're not quite happy, but they're comfortable with their discomfort enough to not want to do the things that might be a little bit unfamiliar and might be a little bit uncomfortable, but get you to the other side of greatness, right? So thinking about what challenges you have, thinking about what resistance you have, those are things that I want you to do as we move forward into this position to profit conversation, okay? So keep checking in with me as you go through that realization process for yourself. I wanted to be able to map this out together. So I am going to dig into the first step for me, which is to strip down to the essentials. Okay? Number one is to strip down to the essentials. Okay? A lot of times people come to me and they are so excited and ambitious and they have all of these great ideas of what they can do, what they should do, what they want to do, what they're going to do. And it can be very overwhelming for you to identify where you should start so you can effectively move forward. And so what I want us to do is to talk about what kind of essential offers at any given time you should have. And hopefully we can have a conversation about what that would look like for you, okay? Yes, resistance does look different. I notice that I'm consistent with sharing content, but I am growing in CTAs, okay? So you're comfortable sharing, but when it comes to giving them that call to action, you're like, I don't know about that, right? So figuring out where you find yourself stuck or challenged, yes, definitely is key for me. And we're going to continue this conversation at any moment. Number one, feel free to interrupt me if you want to say, LaShanda, I just want to talk to you. I'm going to unmute myself real quick, or continue to pop into the chat because I do want this experience to be conversational for you and also for those who are listening via the replay, because maybe there's something that you're feeling that is going to resonate with somebody else feeling the same thing. They just either didn't have the opportunity to say it or know how to say it for themselves, right? So let's make this as conversational as we can. Okay, so let's talk about stripping down to the essentials, right? Profit requires products, requires you to produce the things you want to sell. And what are those essential offers? Let's dig into the ones that I feel to me are the key, okay? So first we're going to start off with basic starter offers. Basic starter offers, okay? So even if you're starting from scratch and you have nothing, I feel like these are just kind of baseline starter offers for me. And then we're going to move up the ladder, okay? So at the very bottom, we've got the basic offers. Here are some of my ABC essentials, okay? When it comes to being an information entrepreneur, of course, right? Audios, books, and calls. So if you're like, LaShanda, I want to make money online, I want to create digital products, I need to get started, where can I start? Well, start with making essential base offers. And these starter offers for me include turning your information content into audios that people can listen to, number one, books that they can read, whether they be print or digital, number two, and call opportunities, right? Introductory calls, consultations, discovery calls, standard calls, package calls. You being able to say, hey, you want to jump on a call and talk to me today? Here is what that is going to look like. This is how much it's going to cost. These, for me, are base starter offers, okay? Number 2, let's go into best sellers. Best seller offers, okay? Now, this is, for me, a twofold conversation when it comes to bestseller offers. Number 1, I'm going to talk to you about what I've experienced as an online entrepreneur, coach, mentor, a digital content creator as far as my bestsellers. But at the same time, I want this conversation for you to also include, number 2, your own bestsellers. So you're like, okay, what should I be selling right now, LaShanda? Okay, if you have nothing, start with the base. Start with the starter offers. But if you do have something, here are some bestsellers. I'm going to get to that in a second. Beyond what I say to you, before what I say to you, what are the bestsellers for you, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I remember listening to a message from Denzel Washington, and he's always got some of these motivational messages to share that I absolutely love. And one of them was basically, sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do until you can get to the things that you want to do. Now, keep in mind, I say that for 2 reasons. Number 1, your bestsellers could be things that you absolutely love. Or number 2, sometimes that passion has become a pain, and even though it sells really well, you really want to transition out of it, but you have to give yourself time to transition out of it, right? So your bestsellers might not be your favorite offers, but if it creates a space where you can make profit and monetize and transition, then it's something that you've got to figure out how to make work for you or even better for you, right? Maybe we need to sit down and figure out how to make that thing that maybe you're no longer passionate about it or it's stressing you out, how to make it work better for you, okay? So best seller offers, number 2, let me dig into some of my personal favorites, okay? And again, as we go through these, feel free to check in with me and let me know if you have any questions. Now, hopefully you have a brain dump doc. Like I said, once I'm done today, I'm going to give you this Position to Profit Playbook workbook so you have it for your reference. Any bestsellers that you have, make note of. But as you're here, those of you who are live, do you have things that you know sell really well for you? Because again, if so, of all the things that you can sell to people, you should be selling them your bestsellers, the things that you know sell, okay? Let's talk about some things that I love in this category, okay? A's, affiliate offers. And I think I'm going to not say offers because I want to see if I can get all of these to fit on one line. So I'm going to do affiliate, ability. This is my ABC method to making money, right? So I'm giving y'all the A's, the B's, the C's to kick off this conversation. Bundles, books, classes, challenges, continuity for me. Okay, so some A's, some B's, some C's, and I want to give you a D, but can I get it in to fit in here? Let's see. Let's see if I can delete some of these S's. I just want to get it to fit on one line, so let's see if I can do that. Okay, I did it. Woo! All right. So, bestsellers. Even when you don't have an offer, if you are connected to, as an affiliate, some established companies that people see and know and like and trust, outside of what you are creating for yourself, I would recommend promoting and sharing affiliate offers to your audience, right? So, for example, I was working with a client last week, and we were talking about, well, here are some things you can do to work on building up your revenue, but in the interim, you do want to make sure you have a cushion and you're building up your credit as well. And so I shared with them one of my favorite credit platforms, Capital One, and I gave them my link, which was SistaSense.com/TCO for Try Capital One. So that basically during our session, they were able to go there, take a look at some of the Capital One cards that they qualified for, and then during our time together, actually sign up for one through me, right? And so I always talk about, when you're having conversations with people who value you and want to follow your instruction, you should have your common recommended resources already ready and available to share with them, because you're going to miss out on opportunities otherwise, right? So when people say, oh my gosh, LaShanda, I love your website. What theme do you use? Oh my gosh, LaShanda, I want to have my pages look like yours. What platform do you use for your pages? I'm already connected to these things as an affiliate, number one. Number two for me is your abilities. The first thing that I did online that actually made me money was monetize my abilities. And trust me, maybe some of you do have abilities that you've monetized, but it's possible that there are some that you haven't even considered tapping into yet. Because I was scared. I was shook. Okay, when it came to getting on phone with people. I just did not want to get on the phone. I was like, I'm not a certified, nobody certified anyone. I didn't go to business school. I have a degree in computer science. I'm not a certified coach. I don't want to get on the phone and talk to people. I didn't do that for years. I didn't, LOL. I didn't do it for years. I have the ability to coach people, mentor, consult, and even get on my soapbox and preach every now and again, but it was not something that I really saw as an ability. My primary focus was, I can build you a website, all right? Anything else? Nah, that's not me. So either identifying your abilities that you clearly know you have, or maybe you need other people to tell you. Maybe they've been telling you and you're resistant to it. Remember I said a few minutes ago, you got to tackle your resistance. Maybe people have been telling you, you need to do this. People told me, LaShanda, you're a light worker. LaShanda, you need to coach more. You need to speak more. You need to mentor more. They told me that. I didn't tell myself that. Okay, they talked me into it. Rochelle was like, if you don't get on this damn phone and start doing these consultations, I was like, Rochelle, you are the $1 million equation coach, not me, okay? She was like, listen, they want my $1 million strategies. They want your social media, digital product, monetization, content. They want your techie skills, LaShanda. Maybe you didn't hit $1 million yet, but you're going to get there. What I'm selling and what you're selling together makes sense, but they're two separate abilities, right? You have to identify where your lane is. I actually had a client reach out to me. Her resistance right now is imposter syndrome. I'm not quite where I want to be. Do I have the right to sell and monetize my abilities because I'm not where I want to be? But you got to identify that there are people out there who are where you have arrived. They want to be where you are. You're not where you want to be next. They want to be where you currently are, and they're willing to pay you for that. Sometimes we mistake the two. We confuse the two. Just because you're not at your next level yet, don't forget that people want to get to the level you currently are at, right? Monetizing your abilities. Number 2. I needed to hear this today. It's important. It's so important because these are best sellers for me and for a lot of entrepreneurs, right? Now, look at that. I thought I got everything in here, and as it turns out, I did not. I did not, because I have at least 2 of these for each of these. So let me see what I can do. Okay. What I'm going to do is I hate to squeeze this out. No, I think I have everything. I think it fit. Okay, let me see. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to talk to y'all. I'm going to go through my notes, and we're going to make this thing happen. That's my resistance, monetizing certain abilities, right? You've got to be able to either, if you don't see it in yourself, you've got to be open to receiving what God and the angels are giving you. For those of you who are spiritual beings, right? God speaks to me. Either I sometimes get digital downloads and I hear things in my mind, or he speaks to me through other people who will say, listen, this is what you need to hear today. It's not them telling it to me. It's him telling me through them, right? And sometimes we're resistant to it. Oh, no, I can't do that. Yeah, nah, I ain't going to work. You blocking your blessings, right? Blocking your blessings. So B, bundles. You got stuff, put it together. They're selling individually, put it together, make a bigger bundle. Books. I said to you, as far as basic offers, you can start off with ebooks, but there's so many different types of books that you can create, and I've been monetizing them in so many ways, creating not just digital books, but print-on-demand physical books. I created so many books this year, planners and journals, getting into the space where people can't just download my stuff, but more people want to order it. Number one, low-content books where they can write in it, again, notebooks, planners, and journals, but also nonfiction books where I am sharing more of my content. Back in the day, I love spoken word. I have a poetry book. I have a couple of children's books, and I had those things on Amazon, and then I kind of stopped writing in that respect. And love kids, love art and animation. And so tapping into your, maybe diversifying your offers. Sometimes I want to talk to you about monetization, marketing, and money, but sometimes I want to talk to the babies in me, right, who want to be uplifted and see their black girl and black boy beauty. Or, sometimes I'm like, you know what, LaShanda, you need to sit down and not just do a webinar or do audio, but write a full-fledged book, right? Something that's in more detail, that's mentorship and business orientation. People want to read your stuff. They want to watch it. They want to listen to it. When I talked about audios, one thing that is quietly becoming more of a thing is premium podcasts. Do you guys realize that? I don't know if you realize. I have this whole thing on predictions, New Year predictions, and you can see AI everywhere. AI stuff is blowing up everywhere. That's a whole other conversation. But another thing is profiting from premium podcasts where people can listen to you for free, but baby, they got to pay to play when it comes to the premium, right? Okay? So there's so many wonderful ways to monetize these things, not just digital books, but a variety of books, and then classes, right? So I'm doing this webinar workshop class with you guys, or creating challenges or subscription-based continuity programs so people can invest in working with you on an ongoing basis, or even donations. I was recently, through my girl LaShanda Brown, recently discovered the platform Buy Me a Coffee. And you can check it out through me over at SistaSense.com/BMAC, which stands for Buy Me a Coffee. And LaShanda started talking about it and integrating it into her business. And I thought, I love LaShanda. She's a fellow visual, techie, web, graphics girl. This year she decided to actually close down all her service-based businesses, and now she's just a full-time content creator on YouTube, which is amazing. I am hopefully going to be transitioning into that space within the next 2 to 5 years. I don't quite want to stop doing all my service-based stuff for you guys who, when I say I'm closing down, have a heart attack sometimes. And I still want to do mentorship and coaching, but doing more content creation on the YouTube platform for me is definitely something I'm looking into as well. But anyway, Buy Me a Coffee, I started to integrate that, and people have gone over to SistaSense.com/coffee, which is my Buy Me a Coffee page, and they bought me a coffee, and I'm just like, thank you. I appreciate it, right? So being in a space where when you're sharing, and a lot of content, you can give away a lot of content for free. Proactively saying, hey, if you like my video, if you like my podcast, buy me a coffee, and people tipping you is something else you can do. I don't know if you've noticed that, but tipping has become a thing. Like before, it used to be you go to the restaurant and you tip. But am I the only one who, like, nowadays you do curbside, you do pickup order? And not just restaurants. Everybody has integrated some sort of tip system into their thing because they're like, listen, if you might as well, right? Either they require it, some folks require it, or they just have it there as part of the process, because why not? You're offering a service. you're giving people something, and there are people who are willing to give you more than you required. And that's something too, right? When it comes to tackling your resistance, one of my biggest resistances when I was just starting out was charging, and charging a lot, or charging more than I thought people could afford, because I couldn't afford those things because I started off on a floss-string budget, right? And blocking myself off to the blessing of quickly generating more money because I always charged low. And I was like, yeah, I'm the LPP queen, you know that, right? And I like being the LPP queen and creating quality products that you can get at budget-friendly rates. But, baby, at LPP, it takes a lot of ones and sevens and fives and twos to get to them 4 and 5 and 6 figure level, right? You know, there are people who they go on and they coach and they told, yeah, I'm an amazing guru, I can tell you how to make 6 figures, but they're selling things that are no less than $10,000. You do realize 10 people buy your 10K product, you hit your 6 figures, right? And so while it's amazing to be able to sell yourself as a 6 or a 7 or whatever ex-entrepreneur, a lot of times those people are really selling extremely high-ticket offers and making it seem as though you can quickly do it without really being honest about, number one, all the value that you need to put into a really good high-ticket offer, number one, and number two, that it isn't like, you know, tell me you sold $1 offer and you made 6 figures. That's impressive, right? That means you're really reaching a lot of people versus selling a small number of high-ticket offers to hit 6 or 7 figures. It's not completely easy. I'm not trying to downplay what they've done, but you got to look at the numbers, right? And so I just say that to say, when it comes to you tackling your own resistance, you got to know where you're feeling a little bit cringy, and that understanding how to monetize your abilities or even ask for a tip, raise your rates, are things that you need to do, right, to grow. Things that I had to learn and things that you will have to learn as well. Tips, I tip for everything, right? You got to love people who tip. Tipping is huge. We have to bless them for their service, right? Makes sense. Absolutely. Hey, Yondell. Hey, Yondell. I struggle with pricing, but I am willing to, maybe it says I'm willing to do a new thing in 2023. Hopefully that's what it says. Just kind of reading out what you guys are saying in the chat as we go through today's conversation. So let's keep on keeping on, right? Love the conversation. We are talking about where your money can come from, stripped down to the essentials. So of all the things that you can sell right now, you should be in a place where you are focusing on starting off with the basics, but then revving things up with some bestsellers. Okay, and again, bestsellers for me are twofold. You can go through the things I've mentioned to you here, option number one, but bestseller offers number two is www, right? Work what works. Work what works. Those offers that already sell well for you or possibly previously sold well for you that you can bring back into the mix. And if you go, man, LaShanda, I just don't like selling that thing. Well, then, baby, we need to sit down and talk and figure out how to turn that pain back into a passion, because you're the boss. You control it, and you can dictate it and set it up in a way that works better for you if right now that's not something that's happening for you, okay? But those bestseller offers are important, right? So when it comes to essentials for me, I like to talk about being in a place where you have, let me just give you a rundown of my essentials. Starter, continuity, call me, and I've been teaching these for years, right? Premium, affiliates, and tips. So kind of looking at what we've talked about so far, but in a slightly different way, okay? So those starter offers where people are just getting started on some level, and me being able to create something that's going to help them take that, whatever it is that they're trying to do, to the next level. Starter offers for me, number one, continuity. I truly believe that you guys should have at least one subscription-based offer, whether it's something that is ongoing indefinitely until they cancel, or you're creating some sort of subscription-based pricing where you create a pricing plan, an installment plan for a high-ticket package that you have. Baby, let me tell you, one of the things that helped me power through last year when my health wasn't the greatest were my continuity programs, were people who were invested in working with me on a month-by-month basis. Because I had that group of people, I could quietly slow down, right? And people were like, I haven't heard from you in a while. And I'm like, I'm still here, but I'm working with my current people, and I don't necessarily have to be online a lot or on social media a lot. And a big part of that were the continuity programs that I have. Do you all, people who are here, have at least one solid subscription-based program? Again, either it's ongoing where they sign up and they pay every month, or once a year and it just keeps going until they cancel, or it's subscription-based. It's a 3-part, 4-part, 2-part payment plan option, so you know that as opposed to always needing new people to purchase from you, you've got quite a few people who are consistently invested in what you do. Okay, and I'm going to be honest with you. I remember back in the day when I was building websites, at first I was like, pay me the whole thing in full, right? Mind you, I wasn't charging a lot because that's a whole other conversation. I started building websites for $100, and when I raised my rates to $500 packages, I was like, ooh, I'm in the big leagues now. Not knowing at the time people are, charging $3,000 to $5,000 for what I'm getting $500 for. But again, you live, you learn, you grow, right? You grow up, you grow up. So in order to increase my revenue and also my prices, I started to give people the opportunity to pay for my packages in 2 parts or 3 parts, and that helps, right? That definitely helps. I actually had a client reach out to me today out of states, one of my international clients, and she was like, I really want to take advantage of this. And I'm wondering if you could help me with a 4-part payment plan. I see you have a 3-part, but a 4-part would really be great for me. And so I said, yeah, no problem. And so I broke it into a 4-part and then just made that available to the larger community if anybody else needed it, right? And so continuity programs are, to me, very essential. I don't know how many of you listening right now, live or via the replay, offer high-ticket offers, and how many of you are proactively giving people different options to pay, whether they pay in full or they pay in parts. And while this is not a part of this conversation, also options to pay as far as what platform they use. So, for example, one of my clients were working on her website and integrating a membership section. By the way, I'm taking on some new web clients in the new year. So if you do want me to help you build a website, let me know. I do have some promotions for that as well happening right now. That's a side note. But anyway, we were talking yesterday, and so I said to her, well, what e-commerce platform do you have? And she said, PayPal. I said, great, but what I want you to do is create a Stripe account too, because not everybody likes to use PayPal. And when I open myself up to offering people more options, sometimes, very rarely, usually if it's an international client or it's a really big amount, like 10,000 plus, for those clients, I will do like a wire transfer and set up a unique invoice for them, but usually just offering people some form of an installment plan works well, right? And again, it's not just about what you can do to help you. You got to think about what you can do to help your customers too. Obviously, having a subscription program means that for a certain amount of time, provided they don't cancel or something, those payments are going through consistently, but then that gives them the opportunity to take advantage of what you have. If they couldn't pay for it in full, now they have the opportunity to do so because you're giving them options, okay? Let's see here. Hey, ladies. Hey, I have a subscription-based program, but I wouldn't say it's solid. One person is in it. LOL. Listen, one person is one person more than somebody else has, or one person more than you had before. It means it's real. It means it's viable. It means that somebody sees value in it, and what you need to do is to designate more time to improve it, to give them everything you can so they can become your biggest fan and get more people like them into it. One person is just the beginning. They are just the beginning. It's real. And so sometimes we go, ooh, it ain't real legit. You know, it ain't nobody in it. Put your foot in it. Make them as happy as you can possibly make them, and then move forward, right, with them, and move forward with others like them. I always say you have to CUD, think about things that you need to create, update, or designate. And in your case, because you have one, you need to designate time to make it better and to introduce it to more people who may want that opportunity. That can sustain you. There are a lot of clients that I work with, and when they come to me, they say, honestly, I've got 2 or 3 clients who pay me religiously. They pay me every month, and a good percentage of my primary business comes from those clients, right? So don't sleep on that one, hon, because you can have 1, 2, 3, less than 5 or 10, and that could be a solid means for you to maintain the kind of revenue or base level sales you're trying to have in your business, right? Right? So food for thought. Hey, Elizabeth. Awesome to see you here, my dear. Yes, I do, but it's physical products. I need to create a digital subscription. Okay, so we could definitely talk about that. If you have questions, you know, we have our one-on-one sessions, or if you want to just shoot me an email and I can send you a voice message, you know, what that would look like, either creating a digital offer that is something that is in line with your physical offer, or not only that, but or just creating something completely different that's subscription-based, going in a different direction. I love that my girl Lavon is here, Elizabeth, because this year Lavon sells a lot of amazing physical products, livevibrantly.com, number one. Number two, side note, I have quite a few of Lavon's affirmation cards as well as her T-shirts, and I've been rocking them. My last video on TikTok, I'm rocking the I Am Enough T-shirt from Lavon. And one of the things that she has been able to successfully do this year is to create virtual experience around self-care for her audience that work well with her physical products. And also now tapping into possibly doing those virtual experiences on an ongoing basis around self-care, and integrating her physical products into those digital subscriptions. So Lavon is a really great example of how you can start to elevate and also include both physical and digital into experiences that you offer to your audience. So maybe the two of you need to check in with each other, but of course you can check in with me too. I feel like you are in similar industries, but, you know, food for thought. Peeped the shirt in the video and was thinking, that's a dope shirt. Thank you. Thank you. I tagged Lavon Yondell in that TikTok. So if y'all aren't following me on TikTok, definitely do. Right now is the Black Girl Follow Train. And when I started the Follow Train, literally 7 days ago, I had less than 400 followers. Right now, let me see how many I have right now. Okay, so right now, I did it! Okay, I'm so sorry. I screamed in your ear, y'all. I am so sorry. I was praying to hit 1,000 followers, and I just have 1,018 followers. Y'all were the first to know. OMG. Okay, if I could do a happy dance and run around this room like the first time I got $1,000 for a web project, I really and truly would. But I do not have Megan Thee Stallion knees, so I'm going to have to keep my old behind on this chair. OMG. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my God. I cannot believe it. I was like, I hope that it happens soon. But okay, that's a conversation for another. That's a conversation for another day. I only said that to say if you're not following me on TikTok, or if you're not doing the Black Girl Follow Train for my sister girls, y'all better come through. I'm telling you. I mean, 600 plus followers in under a week. Make it do. Make it do. Let me know, by the way, for those of you who are here, if you want me to do something where I share some of the recommendations that I did in the last 7 days to help me hit that 1K mark. Because I've seen people post on this platform for well over a year and take over a year to hit a few hundred, let alone 1,000. So being able to share valuable content, but then also take advantage of, trends, trending music, or trending social media challenges that can help you quickly reach more people, jump on it. Don't sleep on it. I don't know how long this TikTok Black Girl Follow Train is going to be, but definitely jump on it. Yes, please share. Well, now I can go live on on TikTok. I can do a TikTok on the Black Girl Follow Train. And so make sure you guys are following me over there, and then turn on alerts both on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and I will probably do some lives today in between our sessions. Thank you. I'm super, I don't want to cry because I'm in the middle of doing this training with you guys, but I'm above and beyond right now. I am super excited. I'm super elated. Okay, LaShanda, get it together. Get it together, baby girl. Get it together. Let's keep on keeping on. Hey, Faye, I see you, boo. Let's make sure that we can talk, Faye, if not today, probably sometime Monday while I'm en route to Florida. We can make that happen. Okay, so positioning yourself to profit, the first thing is to strip down to the essentials, right? And for me, that means you got to have irresistible offers that you're offering right now. That could be starting off with a basic offer, something small that if you have nothing, you can quickly create. An ebook, you can help put together a booking page where people can schedule calls with you. You can turn some of your best information into audio content. These A's and B's or C's are great starting points for anybody. Then I said, maybe you want to tap into some bestsellers. Bestsellers meaning outside of what I can tell you, what is actually selling for you? Sell that more, okay, number one. But outside of working what works, are you in a space where you're selling things that actually work? Are you proactively maybe sharing your abilities? When I wanted to make more money, the fastest way to more was to sell my abilities, my services. 1K, 5K, 10K, okay? People will pay you to do it for them. Whatever it is that you do, maybe there's a way for you to monetize the ability that you're not considering, right? And so that's a big thing. That's definitely a big thing that I want you to think about for yourself. Sometimes you have to sit down with me or maybe somebody else. I call my hubby my in-house Dr. Phil, your spouse, your partner, somebody supportive, not somebody who's going to drain you or vampire you, suck your energy, want to just kind of be like you and not support you, but somebody who can listen to you, actively listen, support you, and direct you. How can you monetize your abilities? That's something else that you can do, right? Creating classes, me teaching you all virtually, whether it be a weekly class or anything that I'm doing ongoing. These are some of my best sellers, subscription programs, etc. So being in a place where you have your essential offers, I like, number one, starters. If somebody comes to me and they're like, LaShanda, I'm just getting started, I got you. Get that. Do you have starter offers? Continuity. Oh, my gosh, LaShanda, I love your program, your package, but my budget's kind of tight right now. I got you. Here's an installment program. Oh, my gosh, LaShanda, I want to get on the phone with you. Boo, go here. SistaSense.com/call me. Do you have a place for people to schedule a call and pick your brain? Are you increasing your profit per sale in a variety of ways? One is to create bundles where you're taking your offers and you're making bigger bundles. Another is to create premium offers, right? This year I've been talking about creating premium books where you're selling your books not just for $5 and $20. You're selling your books for $100, $150. Think university course style books, right? You're selling premium books or premium services, premium packages, $100, $1,000, $5,000, right? You know, I was on a call. I was on a Zoom last night listening to the amazing King Ashley Ann herself, and one of her packages is $23,000, right? And she's like, "Listen, I don't blink. It's 23. Take it or leave it." You know, like, do you have premium offers? Are you creating affiliate partnerships where you can make sure that if people want to use the things that you use, you are sharing them as an affiliate? And do you have a tip jar? That's my new, because now tip jars are the thing for everybody this year and moving forward. Are you giving people the opportunity to tip you, right? Especially if you're going to create free content, free podcast episodes, YouTube videos, you're going to go live. For those people who love you, maybe they're not going to buy what you're selling at that moment, but they would want to support you and tip you if you gave them the opportunity, right? So you'll notice a lot of my pages now will say, hey, if you enjoyed this training, if you like this video, buy me a coffee. Go to SistaSense.com/coffee, buy me a coffee, right? And that was a strategy. I'm going to do, by the way, in a separate training later today, 23 sales secrets. And Buy Me a Coffee is one that I've integrated thanks to the one and only LaShanda Brown. Love her to pieces. She's actually one of our newer SistaSense Circle experts. She spoke this year as well as last year about YouTube passive income. And just watching her glow up and now become a full-time content creator and just loving all that she does, sharing her strategies with you in combination with things that I've done and other people do too. That's what I want to do, right? So tip jars, right? That to me is an essential. So last thing before we go to the next part of this conversation, any of these is hitting for you, by the way. Are you thinking about either basic starter offers, or have you identified some bestseller offers that you either need to create, update, or designate more time to build up, master, and tap into, right? What are you doing versus what would you like to do, okay? I want you to look at this, take a really good look at this and let me know what works for you. I feel like I have to go back, listen to this audio, and clip out me screaming. Thank God it wasn't like a crazy scream because I got the old girl rasp, so I can only go but to so high. I can't do who does them high screams? Mariah? I can't do a Mariah scream, but very, very excited. So let's see here. There is one thing else that I want to share about essentials, but like I said, I want to give you guys an opportunity to take a look here and let me know what works for you or what you feel like you want to do based on this first part of our conversation. As you guys are dropping it into the chat, I'm going to share one more with you, which is premium offers. Okay. Now, premium takes time. Premium takes time to cultivate, whether you are building up your inventory of products and content or you're working on your mastery of your craft. So getting to a place where you can share, some people out of the gates have premium offers to sell, and other people, they're like, listen, I'm not quite ready for that yet, right? But I do want to share some premium offers with you. Truly felt the excitement in her voice. Love it, love it. So, of course, I am a web and a graphic designer, right? And so thinking about services for me was where I started. So things that you do for yourself. And again, I went to Brooklyn Technical High School, which is a specialized high school in Brooklyn, New York, and we had majors, and so I got into the computer science major when I was a sophomore in high school. It was one of very few schools that actually did majors that early, but it was specialized, so whatever. From there, I went to Columbia and continued to do computer science. I taught myself web design because I was like, oh, I want to build websites for myself, and then people started to say, ooh, can you do it for me? I never saw myself being a web designer. I thought I was going to be a programmer, right? I was working for IBM for a couple of years. That's what I thought I was going to do, right? My first computer was an IBM computer. And so when I got my first computer in high school, I was like, I'm going to work for IBM. But yeah, thinking about for yourself things that you do that you can offer other people as a service. Either they're asking you for it or you just instinctually know you can do that. A premium solution. A premium solution. So you have a strategy to doing something, and what you want to do is monetize that strategy and give people the template to that, right? Now, of course, template looks different, and where literally you can give people a template. Like, I do Canva templates, and I literally can give you a Canva template and say, here, rinse and repeat that. But also a template of, here is a structure that I do that you can mirror to. So one of the things that I've been teaching in the last couple of years is my FAST method, right? FAST. And FAST for me stands for F, formulas, A, automation, S, systems, and T, templates, right? So I can give you my structure of FAST and monetize that as a premium solution. You want to use the FAST method to creating content, to making money, to monetizing your offers, etc. Do you have premium solutions that you've sat down, you've clearly documented, and you've defined under your brand that you can offer as a premium offer to your audience, okay? So premium solutions, premium services, premium books. I alluded to that. One of my books that I sell is my digital product planner that I released this year at SistaSense.shop. It's a $100 book, right? You are within your right, and you have the ability to create some really amazing products, create something special and unique for your audience, and you don't have to just sell it for $5 or $10. You can sell it for over $100 as a premium book offer. Number 3. Number 4 for me is libraries. Right? I have been building my content library for many years. Last year, my favorite sales page platform, Samcart, allowed us to also create courses on the platform, so I didn't have to go out and get another tool. I create my course library directly through Samcart. That has been a game changer for me, an absolute game changer for me, okay? Being in a space where I have these digital libraries and people are paying $100 or $300 or $600 to access them. I've got so much content that I am actually going to be taking about $10,000 worth of things that I've sold individually and turning it into the new version of my Digital Boss Academy. So DBA 2.0, I'm going to retail it for $1,000, even though I'm putting well over $10,000 worth of content in there. And of course, those of you who are in the Jumpstart program, and Firestart Your Year, you get the DBA 2.0 absolutely free from yours truly once I release the new edition in the first quarter. But point being, think about having a space where you take all of your best content and you give it to people $100, $300, $500, $1,000, $23,000 is what. But it's so funny. My hubby calls her Beyonce. we had. I went to Samcart had a mastermind for 10 of us last year in Miami, and I got the opportunity to meet King Ashley and so many other amazing bosses while I was there. And so she's amazing. And I'm the shortest thing ever, right? And she's pretty tall. So my hubby calls her Beyonce, and she's got the luscious hair everywhere. And so she was doing some awesome stuff yesterday. She was doing all these cool giveaways, and I decided to grab some of her things, and then she was called me and said, "Hey, LaShanda." I was like, "Hello." When you see a call and you're like, "I don't know who this is. This is no caller ID," right? So I was like, well, let me pick up the phone, right? the Lord told me to pick up the phone because it said no caller ID. But it was Ashley. She said, hey, it's Ashley. You just won $250. I said, what? So she was doing all these cool giveaways this past weekend. But anywho, I say that to say her digital library, the biggest one that she does is $23,000, right? So don't sleep on being in a place where you can monetize at the low end, $50 to $100, at the high end, $10,000 plus, creating some sort of library for your community. Mine is the Digital Boss Academy. Ashley Ann has Instacoin, and it's up to you how you're going to brand it and put it together. I was actually working with a client about 3 months ago on her signature offer. She was like, LaShanda, it's done. I just don't know what the hell to call it. So we took about 90 minutes to work on her branding and her names. Folks are always like, I love the way you name things. Help me. So digital library, number 4, and for me, last but not least, a program. A program, right? Like my Jumpstart Your Year 1-year program, right? Or I did a 6-week program this year, Put Yourself Out There Online Marketing. I did that for 6 weeks, right? Thinking about services, solutions, premium books, digital libraries, or your own signature program, these are some of my favorite offers to create and offer my audience. Now, as you're looking at this, feel free to let me know if any of these resonates with you, okay? Also think about for yourself when it comes to hitting your monthly goal, what that would look like for you, right? So, for example, I talk about base goals of if you're averaging $100 a day for 30 days, that's $3K, right? And for most people, trying to get to some sustainability with their online entrepreneurship goals, they start at that base level of the 4 figures, right? I call it the 4-figure foundation, and that is averaging at least $100 a day. Then there's the 5-figure focus. When you're in a space where you know you are hitting, on average, either mid to high 4 figures monthly, so that you can realistically make 5 figures either in a month or over the course of 1 year, okay? So that's when you get to that 5-figure focus, and once you're there, then you can transition into 6-figure sales, because once you know how to effortlessly or at least consistently generate mid or high 4 figures all the way up to 5 figures, when you're in that high 5-figure range, you are at a place where you can consistently generate 6 figures, because $300 a day on average is $9K, and $9K on a month on average is 6 figures, right? Just to kind of give you a quick breakdown. So if you think about this, right, I always tell people just full disclosure or whatever, as a web designer, let's say, one person decides today they want a package and it's $6,000, and then this person wants a package from me and it's $3,000. Like within 2 payments, I have hit my 4 or my 5-figure goals with those clients. So I'm like, listen, when the quote-unquote gurus are telling you, oh my gosh, it's so easy to hit a certain amount, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're mainly only selling high-ticket things to small amounts of people who convert, right? I don't just sell high-ticket things. I sell lots of low-price point products things too, and so it kind of balances itself out. But if you say you have a $500 offer or even a $1,000 offer, and your goal is, I want to make $3,000 a month, LaShanda, then you sell 3 of those 1K offers, there you go. I want to make $10,000 a month, LaShanda. Well, do you have a $3,000 package or a $5,000 package? And it's not just fluff. You need to really master your craft and put something valuable in there that your audience needs, that they can see that this is a worthy investment and they're willing to tap into. So I'm always sharing with you my acronyms, as you know, and one of them is MORE, more, Master Originality, Reach, and Engagement. I've been doing this thing for 20 plus years now, and so I've mastered creating content and being able to repurpose that content in a way where I'm either giving you my solutions, my services, my digital libraries, my programs, or even my premium books, okay? So let's pause for a second. I'm curious what you guys feel, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, any of this resonating with you when it comes to what you can do to position yourself for profit. Are you thinking about, I need to start off with a few base offers? ooh, I really need to tap into some bestsellers, or I need to bring that bestseller back. Maybe I need to get my essentials together, a starter offer, a bundle, or maybe I'm ready for premium. For some people, you are confidently ready. For other people, you're a little bit scared, but you're ready to tip your toe in some way. And that's okay. But in order to get to your next level, I always like to say your next level begins where what? Your comfort level ends. Where it makes you a little bit shook, where it makes you a little bit uncomfortable, that's that new door that you're going to explore, right? That's that new door. So premium offers, essential offers, basic starter offers, bestsellers, what here resonates with you? We're going to power pause because I need to see what you guys are thinking about, what you guys are hearing, what you're feeling, and then we'll move forward. Services. Services, good. So identifying what you can do for others that either they have asked you for, or that you're looking around and you're like, people could use ... They could use that service. Or you've thought about it. You just kind of thought about it and you're like, you're ready for it. You're ready to provide this service. Things that you do for yourself, and a lot of times when we do things for ourselves that we're really good at, it's like, oh, that's nothing for me. That's a no-brainer for me. Trust me, it is a pain point for somebody else. You can make it a service. Solutions. So what strategies have you put together that work for you that you can even say, my people have been able to duplicate and those strategies and solutions work for them, right? I love it. I love it. So it's time to continue to reflect on that. Think about, again, where you are and what you want. If you say to me, LaShanda, and I had a call with a client maybe 2 weeks ago, she said, I need to make some money. I need to go into the new year. I need to have some end-of-year sales. I need to make some money. And so I said, okay, well, let's talk offers. Before you talk about, TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or any type of social media or, what does my picture look like? Before you tell me anything, what do you have to sell? Strip away at all the complexities and focus on your essential offers. At least one, but maybe you've got 2 or 3 that you're looking to promote or produce within the next 90 days. What does that look like for you? So I challenge you to let me know what resonates with you here, number 1. Or number 2, can you identify one essential that is going to be a key component of your business model within the next 90 days? At least one that you're going to monetize. And let me know what that is. And then we'll move forward. One-on-one courses, services. Okay, so what does that look like? Let's get SMART. Let's set them SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Before I get even into number 2, I need us to do this. Because nothing else matters if you have nothing to actually sell. To me, to be honest with you, because it's about PTP, profit, right? As an entrepreneur, you want to live in your purpose. You want to add value to people's lives. But as an entrepreneur, you're in the business of generating revenue. You want to make a profit. So what exactly do you plan to sell in the next 90 days? Let's get specific. I should be seeing way more people dropping stuff into the chat. Maybe you're thinking about it, and that's okay. That's okay. And, of course, some of you have calls with me. Make sure, by the way, if you feel like you have no calls or you're low on calls, you get what you need over at SistaSense.com/call me. Get your clarity calls now, because within the next few days, everything is shutting down, clarity calls included. And so for at least 3 months, I won't be taking on any new clients as far as web packages, clarity calls, services, all the things. Strictly working with those who I'm working with one-on-one and or in the current programs. So just letting you know, if you do want us to reflect on some of these things together, getting your one-on-one calls with me or your web packages with me now would be the best thing to do, okay? An essential for me would be adding a continuity program. Okay. So I know we've been talking about that. You've got that on your to-do list. So that's a big thing, right? PYP, prioritize your priorities. So I'm going to go into number 2, but I don't want you to feel like this conversation has ended, okay? Like whenever you feel, if you want to say, okay, LaShanda, this is my essential for the next 90 days. This is 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Drop them into the chat or just unmute me. Just say, hey, hold up, pause. I got something to say. Unmute yourself. Talk to me. That's what I'm here for, right? And so we can check in and make this conversational as you're working on your position to profit plan. You've got to create your own personal playbook and hopefully use what I'm sharing with you as a blueprint, okay? Hey, Faye, group program. Don't want to do one-on-one for some time, and I would love to do a continuity program. So let's get specific, right? You want to transition. What is that group program going to look like? How long is it going to be? Who is it going to be for in your community, right? Let's get specific about what that looks like. Love it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So position to profit, number 2. Again, continue to reflect and drop into the chat, and I'm going to come back. But I do want to keep it going for you moving into number 2. Remember, it's the STR 3-step process. Strip down, structure, and streamline. Okay, I'm doing a quick power pause. I'm going to check in with you real quick. 1 second. So now let's talk about structure, okay? So structure. Now, the main focus for me when it comes to structure is your pages. And I'm also going to talk to you as far as structure is concerned, your pricing model. Okay? We're going to dig into 2 of those things today. Now, when it comes to your products, right, you produce them, but obviously you have to figure out how much you're going to charge for them. So pricing is important when it comes to the structure of your business model. And then the pages. Once you actually produce the product and you publish them, you got to put them on pages. People just don't buy, right? And to be honest with you, there are a few people. I was actually talking to a client, was it this past week? 2 of my clients are in the UK, so they do their sessions together with me. They're accountability best friends and accountability partners too. And so one of them had mentioned to me that some of the things that she sells, the people in her community, they purchase them directly through her, right? So it's more of not so much having pages online, but communicating, and the people buy, and then they pay her. And then I was talking to another client. We're updating her website and adding on a membership website to her main website. And so she said, most people, when they pay their memberships right now, they're cash apping and doing those things. And so you may be in that space, just real talk, where you do get customers, but you're invoicing people or getting cash app or manual processing when you need to have pages that pay, right, that are working for you and allow you to get better at number 3, STR, streamlining your processes, right? So let's talk about the structure. We're going to go through the basics, the base, the best, right? The essentials. Okay, so the first one is base. 1 second. Okay. So let's start off with your home base. And for each of these, we're going to talk about your basic versus your best. So we've got basic options and we've got the best option, okay? Basic, budget friendly, and then we have best, okay? So this is when I start to talk about pages that pay and help you effectively monetize and make money. And this is good for people who they're just like, I don't know where I should be sending people. I don't know where I should be sending people. What should I be doing right now, LaShanda? So let me minimize this real quick, and I'm going to keep it seriously simple, okay, as this is I expect you to do as well. So I'm going to go to SistaSense.com. That's my main website, right? Hot and Happening, and then one more. Okay, let's start off with a basic base website, right? So this is a simple link tree. And on my link tree, I call it the Schlink. And I said, that's kind of cool, LaShanda, because I always talk about you should make a simple page, like a simple link list page where people can know what's going on right now. And so I was like, how can I describe this in a cute way, right? Just documenting my processes. And I came up with Schlink, meaning SH, start here, links. So if you want people to know where to go to see what's happening, this is that place where you can share your sales pages, you can share sample size offers, things they can sign up to, your social media too. This is where you sell your stuff, you sell yourself, you sell your favorite things, right? This is your Schlink page, your start here. Basic. Even if you don't have anything else, you can start with something simple like a link tree, right? Number one. Number two, for me, the best, honestly, is to build a main website, right? Either you know how to do it, you're a techie girl like me, or number two, you got somebody or the budget for somebody to build it for you, right? So eventually, not only do you want to build a website, but you need to maintain it, right? So I'm working with my client right now, Constance, and quite a few of my clients, I built websites for them well over a decade ago, and they stand the test of time. They just look absolutely fabulous back then. And so now they're like, okay, I'm ready for an update now. And so one of those clients was Ruby. This year we updated her website, helpingkidslearn.com, number one. And then now I'm working on, and some of you, we are well overdue. Some of you need to check in with me so I can help you update your websites too. But Constance, I'm working with her on her website, Sisters and Friends. I don't know. I helped her design this thing back in 2006 or something. We're working on a revamp of her website now. But I say that to say either you're in a space where you need to update your website or you need to create one from scratch, whatever the case may be, your best is building out something that has all of your best things. But having a basic website is important for two reasons. One of those being that even if you don't have a web designer or a big budget, you can start off with a link tree absolutely free, number one, right? Or number two, even when you have a website, because remember, I just showed you, when you go to my website, if you're like, what's happening, what's hot, what's going on right now, and you click that, it's going to take you to my link tree. Giving people the ability to know where to start, that's the key for the basic website. Simple, link, mobile friendly, this is what's happening right now. And you should have that in addition to eventually having a main website that you build, that you expand on. So one of my clients, Doriana, works of faith.net. We've been working on her website for at least 3 years now. And, every couple of months she's like, LaShanda, I'm ready for something new. First, it was mainly information-based, right? We started off with, is it still loading? Yeah, still loading. I was like, where are the pictures? First, it was information-based. We started off with the information pages that she wanted, and then she wanted some media, so that we have a media section, speaking engagements, podcasts, videos. Then she wanted to do her YouTube channel. A week or two ago, she said, okay, now I'm ready to start selling my books on the website. I also want to have a space where I can have my own store and have people sign up for events. So she's evolving in the process. And your website is going to evolve with you. So that's the best. That's your home base as far as the best that you can put together and do. But having a base is also important too, right? Something that you can easily update on an ongoing basis independent of your web designer if you're not very techy, and something you can start with literally for free if you have nothing else. And on that place, give people your schlinks, your start here links, the things that they need to see or start or try right now, okay? So if I were to say to you, give me 3 to 5 things that are on your Schlink page. Some of you have it, some of you don't have one, and you need to create one, right? What are 3 to 5 things that in the next 30 days are top priority for people to see? Or to be honest with you, in the next week, because I up this on a week-by-week basis. Maybe you have some primary offers that you want to present within the next coming month, or you have some primary offers you want people to see within the next week. What are your Schlinks, your start here links? Like, I'm like, listen, right now I'm doing Position to Profit. I'm doing end-of-year sales. I'm doing Get Your Gifts, profit projects. Here's my calendar. Whatever I want you to see that's happening right now is basically here. And I update this probably at least 2 or 3 times a week, right? And then in between the base page and the best possible website you can build, either you need to build one now or have somebody build it for you or update what you have, whatever the case may be. In between that, there is the budget friendly. So I recently, within the last year, discovered a new platform called Stan. So I said to you, a simple, basic Linktree website will do. Linktree is not the only platform where you can create something like this on, but it's one of many. Either you have something or you try this one, number one. Number two is building a website full-blown. I love to build on WordPress, and that's usually the platform that I use for most of my clients, like Dr. Kira. Her website is nariscommunications.com, and we did everything. We did her new Leadership Academy course area, her magazine, her new website once she got her photo shoot done, her lead magnet. We did everything this year. Or this budget-friendly option. So this is through a platform called Stan, which you can take a look at through me over at SistaSense.com/Stan. Stan is like Linktree but on steroids, because it's you on the Stan platform, you can sell your digital products. You can also give people the opportunity to book and talk to you over the phone. You can sell services. You can create courses. It's budget friendly in that you don't need like a ton of outside platforms. You can strictly use this one. I'm already established and I already have some tools that I absolutely love, and to be honest with you, prefer over Stan once you're ready to really tap into getting the best platforms. But if you're looking for an all-in-one budget-friendly solution to sell and to offer different types of start here offers to your audience, Stan is a good option. Again, you can take a look at Stan through me over at SistaSense.com/Stan. Or if you want to see my Stan store, it's at stan.store/SistaSense. My link tree is at linktr.ee/SistaSense, right? Everything is SistaSense. But your home base is the place for you to begin. I need help adding a box for people to get on my text list. I don't know how to do that for people to get on it. I don't know if you have a platform that you're using for text messaging, but community.com is pretty great for text messaging. It's pretty streamlined and mobile friendly. But I do know that we have Textful. Okay, gotcha. I do know that we have sessions together. So when we schedule a session, then probably ideally at the very least 60 minutes, we could look into it. Yeah, you could definitely check out Community, but during one of our sessions, if you want help or direction on that, I haven't specifically used that platform, but I have helped clients set up their quizzes and or their text messaging and integrate it with their website. So as a techie person, I should be able to help in some capacity once we get on our sessions together. Okay. Base, baby. Let's go to number 2. Your home base, number 1. Your customer base, number 2. Customer base. It's all about the bases. I know very little about basketball except for what I was able to observe when I worked for a nonprofit, Prep for Prep, well over 15 plus years ago, when I was younger. And we used to take the kids to baseball games. But getting a handle of these bases when it comes to your pages for me is so important, right? So you've got your purchase pages, your sales pages, your shop pages. Okay, so let's talk about pages. The simple ones, the savvy ones, the shop ones. Now, some of this is like an overview for some of you who go, oh, I have these things already. But for some of you, it's clarity because you know, oh, I know landing page or, oh, I know sign up page, but I don't understand the difference between this or that. This is the time for you to ask number 1. And then this is the time for you to get a sense of number 2, what you need, right? Once you know your essential products, the offers you need to and want to sell within the next 90 days, then you got to make sure you got the pages put together to put the products on, right? So if you don't have anything else, a basic page or updating one of your best web pages, getting a budget-friendly starter base page, there you go. That's the home base covered in a nutshell. Number 2, customer base is when people are buying and they go from just browsers to buyers, right? So where are you going to send those people? Well, you got options. Number 1, you can send them to a simple purchase page. And for that, like I said, you could use Stan to create like a simple purchase page. You know, you sell it an offer, they see it, they put in their credit card information, they buy it. Literally, it was it yesterday or the day before? One of my clients was like, LaShanda, can you meet me tomorrow? I think it was yesterday. I need help setting up some pages for an offer. And it was Remarkable Living Institute. Was it this one or Cynthia White? Let's see. Level Up. Was it called Level Up? Can I find it that way? Level Up Your Remark. Oh. Why? Why can't I find it? Okay, hold on real quick. Let me see. I'm going to pause real quick because I want to show it to you. Okay, so my client Cynthia, we had worked on a landing page actually a few years ago, and she said, LaShanda, I want to release a new version of this product, but I want to connect it to new purchase pages because sales is no longer in existence. And I used to love to use the sales platform to sell on, and quite a few of my clients had to transition because sales closed. Long story short, Amazon bought them and then shut them down. It happened. So anyway, long story short, I said, okay, you've got options. Let's start off with a simple one, which is to create a simple product page. Like I showed you, you could use Stan for that, or you even can use ConvertKit. So she said, oh, perfect. I already have ConvertKit, LaShanda. Let's make that happen. So within an hour, we logged into her ConvertKit. She connected it to her Stripe. And right now I'm actually logged into her website, which I think is why I can't click. Let me see if I can get out of the editor. We were doing this yesterday. So she has 2 packages for her program. One is $197 and one is $397. So yesterday I helped her connect her Stripe to her ConvertKit, and then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, we created these simple pages. They're simple in that there's just a photo, could be you, could be your brand offer. There's a breakdown of what you're selling, the price, they buy, bam, bam, boom, you're off to the races. You could create something like this with ConvertKit. I use ConvertKit, absolutely love it. You can create something like this with Stan. I just showed you that as an option as well, number one. And I create pages like this all the time using my ConvertKit, SistaSense.com/LMSTK, just to give you like an example, right? Are you able to quickly sell a product? Now, hopefully you are using Stripe and PayPal, and if somebody needed something from you, you could send them an invoice, but we don't just want to have those manual experiences where you have to stop and make an invoice and write all that stuff out, and we want to be able to quickly give people a page they can go to, right? So who needs to work on their customer base creating simple product pages? That's number one. Number two, I said to you, next level up is savvy sales pages. So, for example, my Buyer Start Your Year program is a detailed sales page, and I put that together via the SamCart platform. I'm not going to belabor this because quite a few of you know the different platforms I use, but I always have new people, which is why I have to break it down. So patience is a virtue, if you heard this before. This is really more so for people who need a reset reminder or for people who are new to understanding what these pages look like. But I created these more detailed pages with lots of copy, lots of payment options, PayPal, Stripe, subscription, non-subscription, and I create these using the SamCart platform. So either you can keep it simple with something like Stan or ConvertKit, or you can savvy it up, create more sophisticated sales pages with something like SamCart, or you can create shop pages. Shop pages where people can go to the shop and buy your stuff. So for me, an example of a shop page is SistaSense.shop. And this particular store is where I sell print-on-demand products. And I made this in Shopify versus I'm sharing with you guys Live Vibrantly. My client, Lavon, yay, built her website for her on WordPress. And when sales was no longer, she transitioned over to the PayHip platform. So being able to integrate these links to her PayHip pages so she could have the opportunity to make sure if people wanted to buy their products or her products, I should say, they can either go straight to her PayHip store or they can go to the website that links to her PayHip store. Some of you want to have a store like Amazon or something where people can put products into a cart and buy them in bulk. So using something like Shopify or PayHip would be a good option for you. Honestly, when it comes to digital products and services, I prefer PayHip for that. When it comes to physical or print on demand, I prefer Shopify. You can sell digital stuff through Shopify. I just feel like there are better shops out there. If your primary stuff is going to be digital products and services, I think PayHip is a better option than Shopify. Somebody asked me about Gumroad. I'm like, I know it, but I prefer PayHip over Gumroad. To me, it's just a matter of personal preference, but work what works for you, okay? So that's just my quick and not so dirty rundown of those customer pages that you may need. And you guys can let me know, where are you right now? Do you have these things or do you need these things? Do you need to work on a simple customer-based page? And like I said, you can use ConvertKit for that, SistaSense.com/convert. I'm just going to put these links in here so when I make this a PDF for you all, if you need these resources, you have them. Do you need to make more savvy sales pages? And for that, you can use SamCart. Or do you need to have an online shop where you sell multiple products and then people can sign up through you? If you want to sign up to PayHip through me, here's my PayHip link, SistaSense.com/PayHip. There we go. So continue to check in with me via the chat. Let me know if you have any questions and or what you see you need to be working on based on what I'm sharing with you today. Okay? So, lost my screen for a second there. Number 3 for me is your subscriber base. Okay? So you want to grow your subscriber base, and you want to be able to create pages for them, right? So that they can sign up to things that you have. They can put in, at the very least, their first name and their email address, but if you need them to put in more, maybe you have questions that you want them to answer, maybe you want to get their cell phone number, you can do text message marketing, whatever you need to include on that page, that is something to consider. So do you want to start to create landing pages with sign-up forms, right? Do you want to start to create a link list of your freebies? Do you want to create a vault when it comes to your subscriber base? Okay, so let's talk about what these are and what you need versus maybe what you would consider maybe phasing in at some point. So the first one is the sign-up page, right? So let's go over to one of my latest sign-up pages, which is SistaSense.com/GYG for Get Your Gifts. Feel free to go there, grab some digital gifts from yours truly. So just a sign-up page. They put in their name, their email address, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right? They're off to the races. I am not a robot. Do you need to create or update a sign-up page? And what are you going to give them on that page? In this case, I'm going to give you some free digital gifts as an entrepreneur. When they sign up, what kind of incentive lead magnet are you putting together for them? And by the way, if you need help with lead magnets, side note, you can always go over to SistaSense.com/LMSK. LMSK stands for Lead Magnet Starter Kit. Okay, so if you don't already have it, you can grab it. The Lead Magnet Starter Kit to help you with your lead magnets for your sign-up page, right? One of my clients, we're currently working on her sign-up page. Let's see if I can remember the link off the top of my head. I must have cleared my cache because everything that I'm looking for doesn't want to just automatically pop up. You know, that lazy cache thing that we do. 1 second. So I love the fact that with ConvertKit, you can create simple pages as far as simple sign-up pages, but you can really customize them and make them your own. So mine here is, where'd it go? SistaSense.com/GYG. Relatively simple, right? Photo, sign up, I'm going to give you some fun stuff, bam, bam, boom, right? Working with one of my clients right now, Karen, on a welcome page. Not quite done. We're in the first iteration, but this is what I built for her so far. And it's a more detailed, longer landing page, also built on ConvertKit. And she has more things that she's looking for them to answer here, right? Not just the name and the email, but a mobile number, and she's got a few questions for them to answer. You can do this either as checkboxes or a drop-down menu, but that's something to think about as well, right? You want to work on your subscriber base. Your biggest and most important asset is your email list, being able to email people about things that you're offering and what's happening in your company. Is that something that you need to work on, right? Number one, do you have sign-up pages, or do you need to create one, update one, designate more time to promote? Some of you have lead magnets, but as I like to say, they're collecting dust and not digital dollars because you're not designating enough time to market them. So positioning yourself for profit means what should you be working on right now, right? And I gave you this list of maybe you just need the simple sign-up page, or maybe you need a link, in this case, we talked about Schlinks just a while ago, a page where you can say, here are some free things that you can sign up to, giving them different types of freebies that you have available. And as a matter of fact, I believe if you go to SistaSense.com right now and you look at the main website, if I'm not mistaken, yes, I do have my freebies. These are my Schlinks, my free resources, right? So you can have a list of individual free resources that you actively promote, right? Or you can make a link list of here are all my different things, take what you need based on who you are, or you can create a vote. You know, some people in my circle have votes where they're like, listen, everything that I'm going to give is going to be in this vote. So as opposed to me saying sign up to this option, sign up to that option, just sign up. And then when you sign up as a new subscriber, you get access to my vault that has everything in it. I've done that in the past, but I've seen quite a few people do it. Most of my offers are individual, but you could keep it simple and just make a vote where you give them everything and they can access that vote for free. And then you can update that page ongoing. It's basically just going to be a page where you link to all your freebies, and then when they sign up, they get access to that page. So for example, think of this as a mini vault. When you sign up to get your gifts, it's going to automatically take you to this page, and you're going to get a list of free things, a planner, a guide, New Year predictions, a lead magnet template, 21 lead magnet ideas, just different things on this particular page. And I'm going to be adding new things to this page as I look at it now, but that's the point, creating a page that's a vault style where they can get multiple things on that page, giving them one sign-up form or giving them a list of different sign-up and freebies that they can tap into. Does this make sense? Do you have any questions? Do you find that you're going to be working on any of these questions that I have for you? Feel free to pop into the chat and check in with me. Makes sense. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Any clarity you need, because I know I talk fast. That's the New Yorker in me, and I know that this is a lot to take in. So you're probably going to want to watch Position to Profit a couple of times, number one. But number two, while you're here and you're processing, any questions you have, definitely ask. No question is a bad one, because there are people who, like you, probably have the same question too, okay? I like the vault method. Yes, yes. For some people, as opposed to having like 5 or 6 different sign-up forms, having one central freebie that you tap into, and that's something that I've been thinking about doing myself, to be honest with you, going back to the vault model, as opposed to having multiple sign-up forms of all these different things, just like here. Go here, kind of like get your gifts, maybe building that out into a more detailed model where, as opposed to saying, here's this sign-up form and here's that sign-up form, well, here's the SistaSense get your gifts sign-up form, and everything that I want to give you or gift you is going to be in this vault. And that's kind of the direction that I might lead into myself moving forward. And also considering, while we are not going to talk about it in too much detail today, if you want to create funnels, I was talking to a client who she's like, first of all, funnels drive me crazy. I don't know what I'm doing, but I've got like 5 different freebies, and each of them have a different funnel, and this one is broken, and this one is confusing. And I actually had said to her what I'm alluding to you now, which was consolidate one funnel, everything goes through that thing, and it becomes clearer for you. So if you find that you've got a lot of funnels, or it's overwhelming for you to create them, funnels, by the way, are like email sequences. So once they sign up, over the course of several days or several weeks, you start to send them a series of emails automatically. If you find that it's overwhelming, you have too many of them, they're confusing, or you want to just start but you don't have the time to do a bunch, start with a vault. Maybe have 2 or 3 things in the vault, and then you can build it out from there. Let's see here. After they get the gift, I need help with thank you pages. Do you have any examples? Something that I can show you on the screen now? Yeah, absolutely. And we can definitely go through them, because you can do thank you pages in a myriad of ways. But let me keep it simple. If you mean something else, let me know, and I'll take a look at that in a second. SistaSense.com/5FT. 5FT stands for 5 free templates. So again, you can see that I pretty much use the same template for all of my landing pages because I just like this template so much in ConvertKit. But it's up to you which one you would like to use. And then they put in their name and their email address, and then they hit download, and then they make sure to tell the system they're not a robot. And here's my thank you page. So in this case, I'm like, listen, 5 free templates, right? They sign up. They get the link to download their templates. But I'm like, hey, maybe you want the ebook template in addition to this set, or maybe you want to join my template club. So on the thank you page, this is where that method that I teach comes in. What's now, what's new, what's next, right? Now that you have your freebies, click here to get those. Let's talk about what's next, the template club. Let's talk about what's new, the ebook template. Let's talk about what your other options are. Maybe you want to get my Get Unstuck guide. Maybe you want to learn about websites that work. Giving them other things that you want them to see or take advantage of, those are things you could put on your thank you page. You can give them a surprise gift. You can say, here, click here. Now that you've got your whatever, maybe you want to schedule a call with me. Click here to book a call. Click here to join my Facebook group. Click here to take a survey. Whatever it is that you want them to do on that page, you can provide a variety of thank you, call to action activities. And then, of course, once we're talking together one-on-one privately, right, we can brainstorm too. But those are a few things that I could just kind of throw out at you. Call to action like, okay, now that you are here, what do you want them to do? Really and truly, as opposed to me paralyzing you as far as the possibilities of what you could put on the page, we strip down to the essentials. What do you want them to do next? Once they're in and you say, thank you for getting in, what do you want them to do next? Do you want them to follow you on LinkedIn? Do you want them to watch a specific video on YouTube or Instagram? Do you want them to schedule a call with you? Whatever you want them to do next, that's really what should be on the thank you page, okay? Hopefully that helps. Nice. Thank you. And again, this is over at SistaSense.com/5FT for 5 free templates. Not the word 5, but the number 5FT, okay? So a quick power pause. I'm going to check in with my mini-me real quick, and then I will come right back with you. Okay, let's keep on keeping on. Okay, let's talk about your content base, where your content is going to be. These are your important pages. So essentially what you want to do is, as we're having this conversation, right, identify, again, what you have versus what you go, I feel like I need to put some more time, energy, and focus into ... whatever ... is for you, okay? So one of my favorite SistaSense acronyms is MORE, M-O-R-E, Master Originality, Reach, and Engagement. In order for you to do that, you got to work on creating what? Content, right? So where is your original branded content going to be, right? So in that case, you're thinking about creating content and building your following. So your social media pages, right? Then you want to think about for yourself your, it's going to come, your videos, your audios, and your blog posts, right? So where does your content live, and what kind of content do you want to dig into? Now, unless you have a VA or some social media manager, I always like to tell you that, full disclosure, I'm really and truly only focused on one particular platform at a time, and I may dibble and dabble in a few others if I could, as they say, kill two birds with one stone, but I really always just have a focus. So a couple of months ago, I did a challenge called 100 blog posts in 100 days, and I took that time to just focus on writing in my blog. A few years ago, I did one live a day for over a year. Right now, I'm focused on TikTok. My goal this year was to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm telling you, I didn't really do what I needed to do in the first quarter. It was one of those things where I was like, I'm going to work on this. And I didn't do what I needed to do in the first quarter, and my TikTok sat there. I didn't do what I needed to do in the second quarter, and my TikTok sat there. Going into the third quarter, I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. Let me do some things. And I went from less than 100 followers to close than 400 followers in 10 days. I made a challenge for myself. I said, over the next 10 days, I'm going to create 10 videos a day. Okay. And so I did that, got to close to 400 followers within that time period. And then I just started to post little by little, but I was like, okay, I'm here now. I'm going to work towards 500 and then hopefully work towards 1,000. Long story short, I discovered the Black Girl Follow Train, which has been a thing over the last 2 weeks. I jumped on the train 7 days ago and now went from close to 400 to now over 1,000 followers in the last 7 days. And so officially I was able to this year hit 1K, even though it was something I wanted to do at the beginning of the year and didn't get to until the middle of the year. I still got here. Right? And so who knows where it's going to take me from here at this point. When I spoke to you guys, I said I hit 1,000 and I was at 1,018. I'm going to just hit refresh real quick. Okay, I'm at 1,032. So I'm still gaining followers right now as I'm, just doing what I need to do. Right now, I'm taking advantage of the follow train, posting content specific to that, but also just posting content, period. At least right now, I'm doing at least 3 TikToks a day. Honestly, 3 to 5, and that's been helping me to have exponential growth within that time period. And so when people come to me and they say, you know what, I'm not in a position to have a VA or a social media manager or somebody else do this for me and it's just too much for me, I'm like, get intentional. Pick a platform and focus on that platform for a certain amount of time, whether it be 90 days or a week or 2, what do you want to do? And while mainly I'm focused on creating videos for TikTok, some of them, not all of the videos, I'm also uploading to other platforms like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Not all of them, because then it would just be too much for me, because even though it's short videos, once I upload it to TikTok, then I got to go to upload it to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and then if I do like 3, 4 of them, it's like a whole thing. And sometimes I do it, but other times I'm like, I don't have 2 hours to sit and do this right now. So, I pick and choose. But being able to create the content means that I can repurpose and upload those videos to a ton of other places. So, some of my videos, I'm at the beach or I'm on my porch, and it is cold, 5 cold right now. So when it comes to social media pages, another recommendation I have is to bulk record, because I have so many videos. Either I could just upload things I already uploaded, upload them again, because not everybody saw them the first time, or now you have new followers, or you can create something new with what you already have in your library. So those are just a few things that I can share. Those of you who are here and you're trying to get intentional about your pages, what kind of pages do you need to focus on right now? Do you need to get your home base together? Do you need to work on your customer base, creating pages for people to buy your stuff? Do you need to work on your subscriber page, your subscriber base, creating pages for people to sign up to things, or giving them a list of your freebie lead magnet offers, creating a vault, or your content socially? Do you need to start blogging or creating audios or videos or working on building your following on a particular social media platform? Again, unless you have a VA or social media manager, while I think it's cool to have yourself on multiple platforms, it is too much to try to do all platforms at once. And for me, I give myself a time frame to focus on one platform at a time, build a community, have that working for me before I, flip the rotation and go to another one, right? And so then I'm able to dibble and dabble. I said to you that your list is your biggest asset. So you want to have an email list and you want to have a social media following. So when holidays come around or when you have an important day in your business, you're able to say, hey, here's an offer, and people take you up on that offer. You need to have a community, right? Where are you as far as your pages, and what do you need to work on next? Next one here that I want to share is your community base. Creating a community. So I alluded to my client Constance, Sisters and Friends. She has a community of women over 40 plus. They travel, they have great social events, and she's looking to create more digital for her tribe. What kind of community do you want to create, and where is your community, right? So some people have Facebook groups. Some people, especially those who are international, prefer to create groups on WhatsApp. You can create your own group on Messenger. You can create, some people use Patreon. Some people use Discord. You can even create your own group on Buy Me a Coffee. You have the ability to create your group there. When I started, my first network was on Ning, and I built my network on the Ning platform. Now when people say they want to build a membership, and if they don't want to build it on WordPress, I recommend Mighty Networks. It's like Ning, but to me, a more updated version. SistaSense.com/MN is my link to Mighty Networks. This is if you want to create your own Facebook. Like if you want to create your own branded Facebook. Like when I built my audience, what allowed me to increase my visibility without things like ads. I mean, back in the day, the only real ads were like Google ads. All of these other social media giants did not exist back in the day when I was doing this thing. But I realized very early that you have to get people off of social media and onto your groups. So I was in Yahoo forums, I was on Black Planet, I was in mommy groups, I was on MySpace, and I was taking people off of those platforms and sending them to my groups on my BBWO network for women entrepreneurs, right? Now I have my Facebook group, the Firestarter Circle, one of quite a few groups that I have. I got about 3 or 4 different groups, right? But where are you building your community so that they have the opportunity not just to simply get information from you and talk to you directly, but create a brand around you, right? So some of the amazing ladies in my circle, Ashley Ann, she has Club Circle, the Comma Club with a K. One of my clients was just saying to me yesterday, it's just amazing to see you and also the Budgetnista and how much you guys are growing and how you're still here. The Budgetnista, she does finances. Her community is called Dreamcatchers. Carol Cannon, her community is called Trailblazers. Mine is Firestarters. What are you doing to create a space where I believe Epic April, what is Epic April's community called? I mean, I know she has her Epic brand. I don't know what her people call themselves. If they call themselves anything, I'm not sure. But point being, again, creating a community base is something that you need to do, right? So that they can talk to each other and they can talk to you too, right? Oop. I just wanted to remove group from here, and so I could put base here. So let's pause for a second before going on to the next thing. You want to position yourself for profit. You need to figure out the essential products that you want to sell within the next week, 30, 90 days. That was the first thing that we talked about, number 1. Number 2, you want to position yourself for profit. You need to make sure that you've got the right pages up, right? You've got the right pages up for people to actually go and communicate, connect, converse with you, and the community too, right? Community building, tribe building, your home base, your customer base, your subscriber base, your content base, your community base. Where do you feel like are lacking, let me know in the chat, where do you feel like you are not lacking and there's room for improvement when it comes to any of these bases, any of these pages that you should be improving, right, and working on. Feel free to let me know that in the chat, number one. Number two, I'm going to do for three, I'm going to continue this, but we're going to talk about structure as far as your pricing model. Okay, we're going to talk about pricing next. But let me know as far as pages, what you feel like I need that. I need to work on that. Growing with my signups. Okay, yep, that's a big one. That is definitely a big one. Okay, let's talk about pricing. And I'm going to share some of my favorite pricing recommendations with you, just a few. And if you have the opportunity to tune in live or via the replay when we talk about different sales secrets, pricing is definitely going to be a part of that conversation as well. One second while I pull up my notes here. Okay. Okay, so I am going to go through a few pricing recommendations that I have for you, okay? And the first one here, when it comes to pricing, is to give them options. And we're going to do this one in two parts. Give them options, okay? When it comes to pricing, there is never a one-size-fits-all solution that will work for everyone. So instead of trying to find the perfect price, offer GBB, tiered pricing, a good price, a better price, and the best price, depending upon their budget and their needs, right? So essentially what you want to do is let them choose the option that works best for them. This strategy allows you to convert more customers without alienating anyone based on price, right? So everybody can get in essentially where they can fit in. So when you think about pricing, are you offering GBB, good, better, best options? So let me give you a good example of that. Right now, I'm in a space where I'm like, listen, you want to fire start your year, you need to come out to North Carolina, you need to do the whole fire start your year experience. That is my best option for you. It's got everything in there, number one. And then I said, okay, number two, if you can't come out to North Carolina, here's what you can do. You can get the Jumpstart program. That's the better option if you can't get the best. And then I said, number three, if you aren't in a space where you can do the full 1 year program, a budget-friendly solution is to start off with the Sunday Circle to give you access to the first quarter plus a bonus month too, right? So good, better, best, the good, the Sunday Circle, better, Jumpstart and the Sunday Circle, best, Fire Start, Jumpstart, Sunday Circle, and everything in between, right? Giving them options. And that gives me the opportunity to appeal to pretty much everyone in my audience in some way to help boost conversions without trying to rack my brain. Trust me, back in the day, I would spend hours belaboring before I would send somebody a price because I just didn't know what price to give them. I'm like, are they going to say this is too much, or am I going to undercut myself because I charge too little? The secret sauce was to give them options. And I'm like, yeah, you can get this, this, or this. And they pick what option. There you go, right? Don't have to stress myself out, and I'm able to close at some price point depending upon the one that works best for them. So let's talk about give them options number two. Okay? More options, what? More opportunities. So without overwhelming your customers, here are a few options to help boost conversions. Offer the ability to pay with a credit card, PayPal, mobile, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. And depending upon the offer, also consider adding those tiered or pricing or payment plans. Okay? So let's talk about it. Payment processors, tiered, oops, I didn't spell that right. Tiered pricing payment plans. So those of you who are actively listening, right, whether you're live or via the replays, what do you have? What are you missing? Are you missing diversifying your payment processors? You're only giving them PayPal. You're only giving them Stripe. Maybe you're not giving them mobile. Maybe you can turn that feature on where they could use. This year, I don't even know how addicted I am to Apple Pay and using the wallet and just double clicking and keeping it moving. It's just so freaking convenient. I just don't. What you want me to pull out my debit card? You want me to type in number? Ew! Like different payment processors. Number one, tiered pricing. Number two, right? That good, better, best, and then payment plans. Number three, being able to say you can pay in full or in part in some way. Give them options. Okay. There you go. Let's talk about, for me, another option for you, which is to drop the zero. So what is that? When it comes to the psychology of sales, customers feel like they are getting a better deal when they see a price point that ends in a 5, a 9, or a 7 versus a 0. I don't know. It's just the thing with us, right? So we like deals that are 99 versus $1, 25 versus 30, 99 versus 100, right? So keep this in mind when you're pricing for your products that appear to potential customers. So me personally, I like to do either products that end in 5 or 7 versus 0, right? 5 or 9, to be honest with you. Like, as opposed to charging, let's say you have a product and it's basically $50. As opposed to charging 50, you charge 49, 47, or 45. It feels different, even though it's pretty much $50, right? It just looks different. It feels different. 99 versus that $100. Ooh, I'm saving something here. The psychology of sales. Drop the 0. Okay. Let's talk about the next one here. And of course, as I share these, feel free to share with me if you have any questions, or if any of these are hitting for you, are resonating as far as things that either you never thought to do, or you go, I think I tried that before. Let me try it again. On the hunt for sales, entrepreneurs sometimes make the mistake of setting their initial price to the lowest possible point to make it more affordable and appealing. This strategy tends to backfire when you find your sales are minimal, or later you decide to raise your prices to the frustration of some of your previous customers. So take the time to come up with a regular retail rate. You can then set an introductory rate for your launch, a reduced rate, or a sales rate, offering an exclusive rate to your best customers. You've got options. So I was actually talking to a client yesterday about ConvertKit, and when you set up a product in ConvertKit, because she said, okay, later at some point I want to raise the price of this thing. And I said, okay, well, listen, once the first person buys, if you're selling it through ConvertKit, you can't change that price. You literally have to create a completely different offer because you can't change the price once someone buys. So as opposed to you selling it at the lowest price right now to get started, let's do this. What's the highest price you want? Put that in there and then give them a discount. okay? And she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I want you to think about that as well, the perceived value of what you're selling and what that looks like. So you're offering the highest retail value. That's the sticker value, right? And then you can give people discounted rates, whether it's an exclusive or it's an introductory offer, it's a sale of some kind. What's the highest price point? Set that as the sticker value, okay? That's important. And also, you know what, I find that sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. I'll have a promotion, and then I'll have people pay at that promotional rate, and then I'll say, okay, promotion's done, I'm on to the next thing. I close off the promo, and then people buy it at the retail rate, which is significantly more, and it's always a pleasant surprise to see that. So, sometimes people will surprise you in that they'll put money into they'll give you what you want, basically, right? Sometimes you deep discount because you're just trying to convert and make sales, and there are people who are out there that will give you what you want, but you got to give yourself the grace and the time to attract and convert those people. And sometimes in the interest of time or speed or whatever, you're trying to close more people faster, you'll drop the rates and all the things, but making sure you set your rates and strategically discount as needed, that is something to consider, in my opinion, okay? Last one that I'm going to share here is to set your profit goals, okay? We were talking about getting positioned to profit. What do you want to do in the next 90 days, 30 days, or even the next 7 days, right? What are you going to do to be intentional? You want to work on positioning yourself for profit when it comes to structure and pricing. Set your profit goals. Whenever I launch or relaunch an offer, I first set clear monetary goals of how many products I want to sell and how much money I want to make. I set a base goal of the minimum amount that I want to make in sales, a reach goal, which is my ideal sales profit number, and a middle goal, which falls in between the base and the reach. So I always talk about setting your goals, your, as I call them, money markers, right? So you set your base, your reach, and then your middle as far as your sales. So you're saying, LaShanda, I'm serious about being positioned to profit. Identify your goal. What's your next step goal? You're looking at sales this week. You're looking at sales for the next 30 days. You're looking at sales for the next 90 days. Pick one of those that's going to be your focus, right? And then identify what are those essential products you're going to sell, how much you're going to charge for it, and ideally, how many sales do you want to make? So let's say you're selling something for $500. For easy math, and your goal is you want to bring in $3,000, then what do you need to sell? 6 of those. You need to sell 6 $500 products to bring into your goal of $3,000. $3,000 is your reach, and you say, okay, at the very minimum, I would love to make $1,500. So at the minimum, you need to sell 3 to make 15. You need to sell 6 to make 3,000. Your base, your middle, your reach. Set your money markers. Okay, these are my tried and true position to profit strategies that I've been teaching for so long. But I wanted to make sure that I could share a few of these with you now so that you're moving with strategy and intention. So your structure, right? You're stripping down to the essentials. You're working on your structure. The next one for me, STR, streamline. Okay? Streamline. But again, let me know, what are you seeing here that you need as far as structure, pricing, as far as structure, pages? I'm going to do a quick power pause, and then we're going to go into streamlining your business. Okay. So we are at the last leg of position to profit, because again, I said this is my STR method, right? You strip down, you look at your structure, you work on streamlining, okay? So streamlining your processes, right? Streamline your business, or a better way for me to say it is to streamline your processes. And this, for me, is really looking at the tools, the templates, the things that you use to do what you need to do, right? And I said to you, I've got something called my FAST method, which for me is really about formulas, automation, systems, and tools. So getting into a space where you have better processes to pretty much do everything, to create, to automate, to communicate, to market, to sell. You want to get your processes streamlined and working better for you, okay? So let's talk about what that looks like. As far as tools and the FAST. Oops. It's an acronym, so I got to make them all big. Method. Okay. So we're going to start off with the base. Okay. Now, I've alluded to this today, so some of this is we're going to be able to run through it relatively quickly because I've given you a few visual breakdowns. So when it comes to the tools that you can use to really streamline your processes and get things done effectively, my top 3 base essential tools, we've got Canva, ConvertKit, and Linktree. Okay? And so this is a great example for me of where do I start when I don't know where to start or when I don't have anything if you're starting from scratch. Now, if you're trying to streamline or revamp what you already have, I can certainly help you with that. But again, I kind of have to start off with people who are just getting started and then build up to you, whoever you are, at some higher level in the process. Just putting in some links here to ConvertKit, Canva, and Linktree, signing up through yours truly. Now, Canva, I use it for everything, right? So I create digital products in Canva. I create packages in Canva. I even set up pages and promotional offers, planners, and content pieces. I use Canva for a lot of things, right? And so I want you to think about that. Are you really using Canva at all to really get the most out of it, right? Promotional content, pieces of content for marketing, content that you can turn into digital products or print-on-demand books and planners and journals, all the things, pages. Now, interestingly enough, right, I actually have something called Pretty Pages, and I'm going to show it to you real quick, SistaSense.com/Pretty Pages. A year or two ago, Canva started to give us creators the opportunity to build web pages directly in the Canva platform. And so I started to build out these beautiful templates that you guys could use to create sales pages, bio pages, shop pages, and all the things. Now, they're easy in that if you're used to using Canva, you can customize them, but they're relatively simple pages. Like you can't build a sales page, or in the sense that you can't sell in Canva, like there's no payment processor in Canva, or there's no means for you to collect email addresses in Canva, but you can create a pretty base page and then link it to other websites where those features are available to you, right? So basically you can create a page where they can see visually photos, text, maybe even videos or listen to audio. But once you want them to sign up, buy, log into something, you could add links to the Canva page that they could click on, right? So I have my social media links, my buy now links, my sign up form links. I believe if you click this, it's going to take you to a ConvertKit page. So having those other pages and using this as like a visual. One of the reasons why I like this in particular, and I have quite a few of them that I created here, is that, excuse me, number one, they're really designed for mobile. They're very, very mobile friendly as far as how they look on mobile devices, number one. And for me, number two, there's no I don't know how to use WordPress, or I don't know how to use technical HTML. Add your text, add your links, add your images, and you can make it pretty, right? So it's really user-friendly, number 2. And number 3, you notice if you have something like a link tree, you can only create one, right? Unless you have multiple email addresses and a link tree for each of those, which to me would just be too much, you can only make one. So I like the idea of creating my link list pages in here also, because then I can make an unlimited number of pages. I can make as many as I want for different target audiences and for different projects. So I like having the ability to create these different pages in Canva and being able to share these templates with you guys. If you're in my template hub, you have access to pretty much all of these, right? So if you have nothing else, having Canva, where you can create promotional content, where you can create actual products, number 1. Having ConvertKit, where you can capture people's emails. Now, you may find that there's another program you like for email marketing. Great. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Me, personally, I like Canva. And then, like I said, number 3 is to have a link tree. So you got some place for people to go to and see your links, right? Your Start Here links. I even said to you that outside of Linktree, you can use something like Stan, where not only can you showcase your Start Here offers, but you can sell them directly inside of your Stan store, right? So Stan was an alternative to the Linktree platform, right? So for me, number 1, Canva. Number 2, ConvertKit for list building. Also, not just for list building, I showed you that you can create simple product pages in Canva. You can do your automation and funnels in Canva. You can create your landing pages in Canva. So, and even you can do, I mentioned buy me a coffee for tip jars. You can even create a tip jar in Canva. When you go under earn, one of the options is to create a tip jar. So having that platform, it very much allows you to do a lot for a little, right? Sell products, create landing pages, automate, do email marketing, all the things right there. And you could actually create those link list pages using one of the Canva templates, and I've done that before too. They have a ton of templates in Canva for you, and one of them is to create those awesome link list pages, just like you can do in Linktree, okay? I pretty much use all of them because I just like to, and I have the ability to do that as a web person. But you have options. You can consolidate or just use the ones that you need. And at the base, these are 3 that are absolutely essential to me. Okay? So let's talk about best, number 2. When it comes to tools that I absolutely love to use, I'm going to share with you my top 3 when it comes to sales, when it comes to booking, and when it comes to online stores. And we've, again, gone through quite a bit today, so some of this is just a recap, okay? But if you have questions, now's a good time to ask. Or if you're listening to the replay, you can schedule a call or send me an email if you need additional clarity. So a basic sales page ConvertKit is good for that. I showed you for me when it comes to creating more sophisticated sales pages where you've got different pricing and you can use different templates and have more detail. Samcart is the way to go when it comes to sales pages. Not only can you do sales pages in Samcart, but you can connect it to ConvertKit. You can create a digital library. You can have these subscription programs. I just love Samcart. That's the best, but not everybody's in a position to get the best. Sometimes you got to start off with what is budget friendly or start off with a base. Samcart starts at less than $50. Stan, which is an alternative to Linktree, starts at less than $30. And as I mentioned before, Linktree you can get for free. I believe I have the premium version of Linktree where I pay for it every month, and it's like either $9 or $12. It really is cost effective. But I understand if you just need free 99, then get the Linktree for free, right? Booking. When it comes to booking, the best platform for me is Acuity. I absolutely love Acuity scheduling. But I do understand that not everybody is in a position to pay either one or multiple options for booking. So as I mentioned before, you can actually schedule bookings through Stan, or you can create a free Calendly calendar, and that would be another way to have people book. Now, you can't charge them if you have a free Calendly account, but you could create a free booking on Calendly. If you can afford, I would say the budget-friendly version is Stan, which I showed you before, but the best option for me is Acuity. And like I said, when it comes to stores, I showed you different varieties of stores. I personally like PayHip as a store platform that you can use. Outside of PayHip, when I want to sell physical products, I use Shopify. And if you want to create something specifically inside of your WordPress website, you can use WooCommerce. But for me, the best as far as selling digital products, packages, and having a store would be PayHip. And for physical products or print-on-demand products, Shopify. Okay? So I wanted to be able to, as we're talking about streamline and structure, share some of these tools with you. Again, if you have things that you use, I'm not telling you to switch over, but if you want processes that mirror mine or things, pages that look like mine, these are the resources that I use as far as tools and creating templates. Okay? So sales pages, booking platforms, and also online store resources too. Next thing that I want to do is to talk to you about when it comes to your processes, what you need to improve, right? Let's talk about boost. You want to get better, right? You want to boost your results. What do you need to improve as far as, let's start off with the first one, which is content creation. Is this something that's painful for you? If so, where? Why? Right? Some people want to create videos or live streams or lead magnets, or, I was mentoring a client who it took her a few months because she just didn't know what to make as a freebie. When it comes to content creation, where are you struggling? Because if you don't have a better process, right, we got to tackle your resistance. If there are things that you're doing that are painful for you, it's not going to be easy for you to work on consistency, right? I had a client who, it was just really the platform she was using. I think it was either Weebly or Wix. One of them, it's just so I don't like either of those, but one of them is more outdated than the other, and posting to her blog was just like pulling teeth. It's like, oh my God. You want to streamline your process. You want to use tools that work for you and systems that help you to move forward faster. So content creation, where do you struggle with that, if at all? Automation, right? Where do you struggle with that? There's so many ways to make the process easier for you when it comes to your clients. So when I put together my courses and you buy a course, you sign up, you get an invoice, there's a link in the invoice that says activate your course, bam. Unless you say, LaShanda, I don't know what to do and I have to communicate with you via email, the process is automated. When people signed up to my 100-day challenge, I was doing that live. My 100-day blog challenge, I was doing it real time. But now I have that 100-day sequence, and it's done. So guess what? You sign up to 100-day blog challenge now, automatically it's going to you. I don't have to do nothing but sit back and collect the money, honey, right? Where do you need to work on automation in your business, right? Could be distribution. When you are distributing things to your clients, right, when they purchase, one of my clients, I remember her distribution issue, did I spell that right? Distribution issue was when somebody bought something from her, either she had to send it to them manually or her assistant had to do it. And we set it up so I created a store platform so when people bought, they just automatically got her whatever they bought after the purchase. They got that link to click and download in the invoice. Do you need to work on distribution so when people purchase, automatically what they purchased is delivered to them, or sales? I lead it to the fact that I also have, especially older clients, who, when people buy from them, they have to manually send them the information, take money, like either physical money in person. Some people cringe, have to mail them checks or whatever. I mean, do you have a process that's seamless where they can just go, click, pay, you make your money, they get what they need, you're off to the races, right? Your calendar, being able to say this is what's going on, and people can see what's going on the calendar, or they can add themselves to your calendar, right? Your marketing. Now, yes, you can do some marketing real time. Like if I were to go live right now, I would be doing it real time. But having marketing that works for you through automation, putting together a funnel, or scheduling out content for social media or your blog, whether it be scheduled out for a week or even a month or two, then all you got to do is just sit back and set it and forget it, right? Where do you feel like when it comes to streamlining your processes, things are hard for you? They take a lot of time, or you're spending money on having other people having to do it for you, and you want to make it easier or cost-effective or faster or automated. Where is that in your business? Now, this is not an end-all, be-all list, but it's certainly a good list. For a lot of people, these are the pain points. Content creation is hard or takes forever. Automation is minimal in their business. Distribution, they have to do it or pay somebody else to do it. Sales, if their people aren't manually sending them the money, they're not making money effortlessly. I call it 3 a.m. money. So literally, I could be asleep, and people are just like scrolling, stalking. Like folks would be like, "Listen, LaShanda, I'm stalking you, okay? So I've pretty much bought everything you've got in the last 3 days. That's fine. You need some more? I'll send you another link if you want some more, right?" Being able to position yourself for profit so you're making that 3 a.m. money. Doesn't matter if you're awake or if you sleep and somebody somewhere is buying your stuff, because the processes, the pages, everything is put together the way it needs to. Where do you need a boost? And again, feel free to check in with me via the chat if you've got questions, or this is bringing some stuff up for you and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, LaShanda, this is where I fall short. This is where I struggle. This is where I need help. Okay. Now, outside of you thinking about the base essentials and some of the best tools where you need to boost and get better, I'm going to share with you Box. Okay? So I created this whole series about creating your toolbox. And in there, you want to have the things that work really, really well for you, right? The things that work really, really well for you are in your toolbox that help you streamline your processes and just make everything feel effortless, right? I'm going to share a few of my favorite toolbox solutions, the things that are in my toolbox that just make things run smoothly. I recently did a training on calendars and catalogs, crazy good catalogs that just kind of really help me seamlessly do what I need to do. Google Calendars is in my toolbox. I don't do nothing without my Google Calendar. And to be honest with you, the Google Suite is just on point. You know, Google, Gmail, Docs, Sheets, the Google Suite, period, is for me. I mean, prior to I want to say maybe 3 to 5 years ago, I was definitely a Microsoft Word kind of a girl. PowerPoint, Excel, Word, that was my wheelhouse. I can't function without Google. You know, even doing conversations with clients, one of my favorite streamlined processes is how we communicate. And in the last year or two, I've been creating these basically these home-based documents for clients. So every time we call and we get on a conference line, we go back to our home-based document. It's our central space to have our conversations. And that's helped streamline the process. It's no longer, oh, I don't remember what we did, or LaShanda, I don't know where that link is, or I wanted to send it to you. Did you get my email? Oh, you can't find it. I want to show you something on the screen. Pop it into the document, right? Where did we left off? Scroll down to the bottom of the document, right? Google Suite for me is everything. StreamYard, absolutely love. If you haven't heard me talk about that platform, StreamYard is a platform that allows me to broadcast across multiple platforms at once: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, quite a few platforms on StreamYard. It helps change the game. So I can hit record, go live on multiple platforms, put my little iPhone phone beside me to go on Instagram and now TikTok. Yay! I'm going to do that today. But it makes it easier. Now, the reason why I bring up the box conversation is twofold. Number one, I want to be able to share some of my favorite tools with you, but honestly, I want you to build your box. If you think about your business and what helps you streamline it, helps you QC, quickly create quality content, helps you get things done fast, what's in your box? And feel free to share those with me, because I always need good tools and great tools to share with y'all, right? Another one of my favorite tools is the MP3 Recorder app by Amit Patel on my iPhone. I swear by it. If they don't update this thing, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I love it. I record what I need to say. I upload it to Dropbox. I access the Dropbox on my computer. Bam. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm good to go. I'm off to the races. These are some of my favorite tools. I actually have a list of 10 plus fabulous tools that I use. I'm not going to do all of them, but these are some of them just to share. But on the flip side, more importantly, you being able to identify for you the tools that absolutely rock your world. They are amazing, right? Where do you feel you need to streamline your processes? Okay? I'm going to pause to see if you guys have any questions or comments based on what we've talked about so far, and then we're going to dig into the last bullet point for streamline. Let's see here. Levon says, I use TidyCal to schedule calls. It was a one-time fee of $29 for life. Found it on AppSumo. Yeah, AppSumo is pretty cool. And like I said, you may find that you have a particular resource or tool that works really well for you that may fall in line with some of the tools that I use, but this is your go-to, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Love it. Keep feeling free to share some of those tools with me and the ladies in the community. If ever you come across something that's really cool, you can always pop it into our Facebook group over at firestarters.sistasense.com. Last on this list is breakdown. Break it on down. So we're going to think about this concept of breakdown in a couple of ways, okay? For me, the first thing is to think about systems, right? Things that, again, when I say systems, save yourself time, energy, money. That's what that stands for, right? And one of my systems is the FAST method, right? FAST. Me being able to focus on creating formulas, using automation, integrating the right systems, and duplicating the right templates, so I'm able to quickly do the things that I want to do in my business. Keep on keeping on. I can do something like this and do a pop-up with you, like these 2 trainings I'm doing today, and I can do them effortlessly, okay? Because number one, I already documented my systems. So I already know exactly what I want to say, right? And then number 2, I already have these documents that I put together. I have to change the cover graphic, but I have a template for the cover graphic, so that's not hard. I switch out the stock photo. I put position to profit. Everything else looks the same because it's a part of my branding. I copy the document. I copy the graphic template. I already have my system documented. I hit record because Start Meeting is one of my tools in my toolbox, right? I send out an email. I tell you guys to meet me. You come on, you meet me. You don't meet me, I upload the live. You watch it on the replay side. I have my systems to get this stuff done quickly. Some people, they'll tell me, listen, LaShanda, it took me like 3 months to come up with a webinar, to launch it, to email people, to get it all together. I have a streamlined process. And in order to help you get to where you need to be, we have these experiences where I'm teaching you the systems and I'm teaching you the FAST method, but then also you're starting to make it a habit for yourself, right? Either you have your own structure that you do, or you start to integrate the processes that I teach you into what you do. So some of my clients have started to create my Power PDF documents, or duplicate my templates and make them their own, or follow my process to putting together virtual events or webinar classes. If you do it more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and beyond, it becomes a habit. But first you got to break it down and implement, right? Now, when it comes to you, what I also want you to do is to break down your own processes. And this is twofold. Twofold in that you've got processes that work really well for you, right? Break them down, monetize them, share them with your audience. Number one. Number two, you've got processes that are not working for you. Break them down, identify the part that's broken, and either you figure it out or you get somebody who specializes in that area to help you create a better solution. I always say one of my favorite acronyms is thinking about the word how, H-O-W, and then switching it around to the word W-H-O. Same 3 letters, but different way. Sometimes you can figure out how to do something or who can do it for you. And if you have parts of your overall processes that are broken, break down the process, identify the part that needs to be fixed, and either you got to figure out how to do it or give it to somebody who can do it faster for you. If it took you 5 months and you still didn't build the website, well, baby, let me do it for you. Right? I remember one of my clients, Tiffany, she was working on her first virtual summit a few weeks ago or a month or 2 ago. And, I said, I love the bones. Tiffany, you need to launch this soon, right? And there's a lot more for you to do. Do you want me to do it for you? She said, LaShanda, yes. Where do I sign up? Where do I pay? Get it done. And within 24 hours, I had her sales page together, her link list, her sign-up form, her upsell, automated sequence, everything, because I do it in my sleep. So break down the process in a way that if you've got successful processes for yourself, you can monetize them, or break it down in a way that you're able to identify what's broken if you need to get better at creating better processes for you, okay? These are all things I would like you to do, okay? So let's keep on keeping on today. We are going to go to number 5, which is a recap rundown. Okay? So to rev up your efforts and make sure that you are positioning yourself correctly for profit, the first thing I said to you is I want you to strip down everything to the essential offers. Not the stuff that's not quite done, or it's a great idea and you want to launch it at some point, but you're just not ready to launch it now. What are the essential offers? Either those basic ones, those bestseller ones, what do you want people to see? Either you're selling these things in the next week, the next 30 days, or 90 days. What are your essentials? Number 1. Then I said to you, I want you to work on structure, right? Structure your pages that pay. Where are you going to send people to? What pages do you need to work on? your home base, your customer base, your content base, your community base, right? What pages do you need to work on? They pay for you or they pay off in the long run, because as more people go to them, as you send more traffic to them, they will start to work for you. And that's what you want them to do. You want your pages to pay off and pay. Okay? Structure your pages. And then STR3 for me was to streamline your processes, right? What do you do that works? What do you need to fix that's broken? Streamline your processes, working on the FAST method. And SMART systems. Now, we also talked about structure as a twofold conversation, and that we talked about structure your pricing model / plans, right? So these were all things that we seriously dug into today in some way. And then last but not least, ultimately, the two things that matter most to me, aims, you being able to say, am I missing something? When you look at these, what are you missing? And CUD, what do I need to create, update, or designate more time to focus on? When you look at this STR3 step strategy, you want to get positioned to profit. You need to have products to sell, pages to put the products on, and processes that make it easier for you to do what you need to do. As far as content creation, automation, communication, you've got to have processes that make it feel seamless, right? Of course, things can be easier when you have help, but you also have to have the right help. As if you've ever hired anyone, if they're not doing what they need to do, it ends up becoming double, triple work for you, right? Going over micromanaging them or spending money on them and then having to do another version yourself. Either way, you've got to figure out how to make it work for you, right? These are things that you have to do. So this is essentially Position to Profit 2.0. Like I mentioned before, the original Position to Profit, my blueprint, it's still available, and I might just give you the original. Do you guys want the original? I might give you the original blueprint if you want it. Yes, and just be able to kind of glean from it and see when I talked about how to position yourself for profit and how to work on getting ready for sales. If you want to take advantage of that, I'll try to make sure I include that with this replay from today. But this is essentially the structure that I wanted to share with you. And hopefully it's given you an opportunity to sit down and just assess where you are versus where you want to be, what's missing, where you need to put your CUD, creation, update, designate, juices, where you need to put your energy, right? Create, update, designate. Check in with me. Final questions, final thoughts, aims, what you're going to work on next. Are you finding that there were some things you were missing? Did you learn anything today? Did you get something affirmed today in some way? Letting me know what worked for you, number one. And then number two, just walking you through a few things coming up next. So as I wait for you guys to pop into the chat as we are wrapping up for today, I just want to say, as always, super excited to get this opportunity to share some of my favorite position to profit everyday sales, ready for revenue strategies with you. You can always email SistaSense@gmail.com if you have questions. When you get your hand on this playbook right here, at the final page, I share recommendations on my in-person events, working with me one-on-one, scheduling calls, web design services, all the things. So if there are other things that you need, you have the ability to see what's available. Now, as I mentioned before, there are going to be quite a few things that I'll be shutting down within the next few weeks. But if there's something that you see that's not available, you can always email me or reach out to me to get on the list and or get updates to see when those things open back up again, okay? So this is a two-part experience that I'm doing today. I will have another session later on today on 23 end-of-year sales secrets. I think that's a great complement to this session. Hopefully you are there, but if not, you can always catch it on the replay side if you're not able to catch it live. So I see you guys checking on in the chat. Thank you. You're so very welcome. Stripping down to the essentials. Yes. So identifying what you want to offer, making sure you've got those processes, those structures put together, setting a clear goal for yourself. Are you working towards structure in the next week, the next 30 days, the next 90 days? These are things I want you to be able to do, especially those of you who are feeling overwhelmed. And this year, one of the things I did was I wrote one of my newest digital books, Where to Start When You Don't Know Where to Start, right? And this is a good complement to that. If you don't know where to start or what to do next, focus on the strip down, the streamline, the structure. All right, my dears, thanks again for participating. Check in if you have any questions. See you on the next one. Bye.